Welcome back. Today, we're heading back to ancient Greece. We're tackling Plato's Republic.
Oh, classic.
It is. And today, we're zeroing in on Chapter 8.
Interesting. What's so special about Chapter 8?
Well, that's where Plato starts laying out this idea of the guardians, like the protectors of his perfect city.
Ah, the Guardians. Got it.
Yeah, and we've got a really cool annotated version of the Republic to work with, so we can really get into the nitty-gritty of what he was thinking.
Sounds good.
So, consider this your crash course on Plato's Guardians.
I like it. A crash course.
And maybe by the end, we'll even start to think about what it means for, leadership and justice today.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so jumping right in, one of the things that struck me right away in Chapter 8 is how Plato sets up this, well, almost like a paradox.
Paradox, huh?
Yeah, like a riddle that needs solving.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, he starts by comparing these guardians to, like, really well-bred watchdogs. Watchdogs, yeah. He really highlights all those qualities you'd expect. Keen senses, swiftness, strength, courage, the whole package.
Makes sense. If they're protecting the city, they've got to be tough.
Right. But here's the thing, and this is where the riddle part comes in. A watchdog that's only fierce and strong.
Uh-oh. That could be a problem.
Exactly. They just bite anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Friend or foe, wouldn't matter. Not very helpful if you're trying to, build a peaceful city.
Definitely not. So what's the riddle then?
It's this. How do you make a guardian who's strong enough to defend the city, right, but also smart enough, discerning enough to protect the people inside it?
Ah, I see. So it's not just about brute force. They need some kind of judgment.
Exactly. And that's where Plato gets really fascinating.
Okay, lay it on me.
He brings in this idea of the spirited element. And he even says, and I'm quoting here, every soul possessed of it is fearless and indomitable in the face of any danger.
Powerful stuff. But I see what you mean about, needing control. Courage without direction can be a problem.
It's like having a car with a giant engine but no steering wheel,
Exactly. You need both.
So how does Plato steer this spirited element in the Guardians?
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. He says they need something else. A philosophical element.
Hold on, philosophical.
Yeah.
Is he saying these warriors need to be philosophers too?
He is. That's a big part of what makes his Guardians so unique.
Wow, okay. That's not what I was expecting.
I know, right? It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. So, how does that work? How does philosophy make them better protectors?
Well, think about it like this. Remember the watchdogs.
Yeah.
A good watchdog, it's gentle with its family, right? But wary of strangers. And that's because it knows them. It understands.
So it's not just about, blind aggression. It's about knowing who the real threat is.
Exactly. And that's where knowledge and understanding come in.
Okay, now I'm starting to see. So it's not just raw power. It's also about, being able to think and make good decisions.
That's exactly what Plato's getting at. He actually writes, if a man is to be gentle towards his own people whom he knows, he must have an instinctive love of wisdom and understanding.
He really connects those two things, huh? Gentleness and, a love of learning.
He does. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. For Plato, being gentle isn't just some emotion. It comes from wanting to know and understand.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. So he's saying that loving wisdom can make the guardians better at protecting people because they can actually, think things through.
Precisely. They're not just reacting. They're making informed decisions. And that's one of the things that makes Plato so thought-provoking,
I know, right? He makes you question everything you thought you knew.
Exactly. What is strength? What is gentleness? And could they actually be connected in ways we don't always see?
This is blowing my mind. So what does this philosophical element actually look like? What kind of wisdom or knowledge did Plato have in mind?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's something he gets into a lot more later on in the Republic. But even in Chapter 8, he gives us some clues,
Oh, okay.
He talks about how important it is for the Guardians to really understand justice.
Interesting.
Yeah, because remember, the whole point of the Republic is figuring out what justice even is.
Right.
For individuals and for the whole city.
Yeah, so it's not just about, knowing a bunch of facts.
No.
Or some, philosophical theory.
It's deeper.
It's about, a gut-level understanding of right and wrong.
Yeah. Fair and unfair.
And that's why he's so big on the Guardians being these, lovers of learning,
Okay, yeah.
Always searching for the truth.
So they're not just like stuck in their ways.
No, they're always questioning.
Always questioning.
Yeah, even their own ideas.
Okay, but how do you even find these people?
Right.
Like the warrior and the deep thinker.
It's a tall order, right?
Yeah. Those two things don't always go together.
No, they don't. But Plato knew that the pack...
And that's why education is like the key for him.
So you're not necessarily born a guardian.
Right.
You're made into one.
It's about taking people with the right potential and like carefully training them.
It's like molding them
Yeah, exactly.
into the ideal guardian.
Precisely.
So what did this like guardian training even involve?
Oh, he had this whole curriculum in mind.
Okay, like what?
Physical stuff, of course.
Okay, makes sense.
You gotta be strong and swift.
Yeah.
But also music and poetry.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, and math.
Math.
Uh-huh. And, of course, philosophy.
Okay, so it's not just about making them like fighting machines. It's about like developing the whole person,
That's a great way to put it.
the whole package.
Yeah, he wanted them to be well-rounded, you know?
I'm seeing a theme here.
Right.
Plato likes well-roundedness,
He does.
like complete individuals.
And I think that's a really powerful idea that still holds up today.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, for Plato, real leadership,
Uh-huh.
true guardianship,
Yeah.
it's not just about strength or intelligence.
There's something more.
It takes character
Okay.
and wisdom
Wisdom, yeah.
and really understanding what it means to be just...
Deep stuff.
It is.
It makes you wonder, though, like, do we even look for those qualities in our leaders today?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we really value wisdom?
Yeah.
Ethical understanding?
Or are we just drawn to, like, whoever's the loudest or most charismatic?
It's easy to fall for those things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Even if they don't have the deeper qualities that Plato thought were so important.
It really makes you think.
Right.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the individual guardian,
Yeah.
but how does this all fit into Plato's big picture of a just society?
Well, for Plato, the kind of people the guardians are
Uh-huh.
directly shapes the kind of city they create.
Okay.
He thought, like, if the guardians are messed up, the whole state is going to be messed up.
So it's not enough to just have a few good people at the top.
Right. You need a system that makes them flourish, you know, that
Yeah.
lets them contribute to the good of everybody.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a collective thing.
This idea that the guardians are like the foundation of the whole thing.
Exactly.
But wouldn't that be kind of risky?
Risky how?
Well, like, what if the guardians become corrupt?
Oh, yeah.
Then the whole system falls apart.
Right. That's a valid point.
Yeah.
And it's something Plato was worried about, too.
Okay.
He knew that power can corrupt
Makes sense.
even people with good intentions.
So how did he try to, like, prevent that?
Okay, so remember that intense education we talked about?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's part of it.
Okay.
He also wanted to build in safeguards,
Safeguards.
like within the structure of the city itself.
Interesting. So it's like checks and balances.
Exactly. He was all about that.
So give me an example.
Okay, so he thought the guardians should live really simple lives.
Simple. Okay.
No fancy houses,
Gotcha.
no getting rich,
Okay.
no distractions.
So they're focused on their duty,
Yeah.
serving the city.
Not themselves.
That's pretty hardcore.
It is. But he thought it was necessary, you know?
Yeah, I can see how that would help.
And they'd have this strict code of conduct
Okay.
and ways to hold them accountable if they messed up.
Oh, interesting.
So there were consequences.
So he's not just assuming they'll all be saints.
No, he's realistic about human nature.
He knows power can go to your head.
Yeah, it's easy to get carried away.
It seems like he was really trying to figure out this whole power thing, you know?
Oh, yeah, he was wrestling with it.
Like, how do you make sure it's used for good?
Big questions.
Questions we're still asking today.
Absolutely.
Okay, so back to this philosophical element.
Yeah.
What exactly did Plato think philosophy would do for these guardians?
Okay, so for him, philosophy wasn't just some heady thing, you know?
Not just theories and stuff.
No, it was about really seeking the truth,
Okay.
challenging your own beliefs.
You like constantly questioning.
Yeah, and cultivating this love of wisdom.
I'm starting to get it.
He thought those qualities were, like, essential for anyone in power.
I mean, yeah, I could see that.
If you're always questioning yourself,
Right.
you're less likely to become like a tyrant.
It's like you're more open-minded,
Exactly.
more flexible.
And he thought philosophy could help the guardians see the bigger picture.
The bigger picture, okay.
Like not just their own little world,
Right, right.
but the needs of the whole community.
So it's about thinking beyond yourself.
Exactly.
Like a kind of wisdom that goes beyond just, like, knowing stuff.
Right. It's not just book smarts.
Yeah, it's about understanding people.
Understanding ethics.
understanding justice,
Yeah, that deep stuff.
deep stuff.
And that's another really important takeaway from the Republic.
Yeah,
He's saying leadership isn't just about power and authority.
it's about something else.
It's about wisdom,
I'll go.
character,
Yeah.
commitment to the common good.
Wow. That's a lot to live up to.
It is a high bar.
But it's pretty inspiring, too.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered a ton in this deep dive on Plato's Guardians.
Yeah, we have.
We talked about this crazy combo of strength and wisdom,
That's Plato for you.
their role in this whole just society thing.
Yeah, crucial role.
And, like, how do you even find these people?
Yeah.
It's been pretty mind-blowing.
It has. It's got me thinking.
Me too.
It really makes you question some things.
It does. So what stands out to you the most?
Yeah.
Honestly, for me,
Yeah.
it's that idea that strength isn't just about, like, muscles or armies.
Oh, I like that.
It's about knowing when to use force. And like Plato says, that comes from philosophy.
It all circles back, doesn't it?
It does. And
Oh.
it's like, remember those watchdogs?
I do, yeah.
A good watchdog, it doesn't just bark at everything.
That's true.
It's got to figure out what's a real threat.
It's got to be discerning.
Exactly.
Use its knowledge.
So it's not just about instinct.
It's thinking critically.
Yeah. Making smart choices.
Based on, like, a real understanding of things.
And that's where philosophy comes in for Plato.
It all ties together.
It does. He believed philosophy helps you develop that critical thinking.
That ability to see, like, beneath the surface.
Yeah, and figure out what's actually just and moral.
It's not just about what feels right.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Is this even realistic?
Oh, that's the question, isn't it?
Can you really find leaders like this?
Well, some people think Plato's just being idealistic.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a pretty tall order. Warrior and philosopher.
Two sides of the same coin for him, though.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it that way.
But Plato knew it'd be rare.
Yeah, not everyone can be a philosopher king.
Finding these people would take serious effort.
And training, right.
Oh, absolutely. That education system was huge for him.
He thought you could shape people with the right potential.
Mold them into these guardians.
But like, even then.
Not everyone would make it.
So it's about finding the right people and having the right system.
Exactly. Plato wasn't saying we're all the same.
Oh, interesting.
He thought some people are just naturally better suited.
For this kind of leadership.
For different roles in society, yeah. And a good state would recognize that.
Use those differences to benefit everyone.
Make the whole thing work better.
Ah, okay. Now I see how this fits into his idea of justice.
It all comes back around.
It's not just treating everyone equally,
It's about putting people where they belong.
so they can contribute in their own way.
Yeah, and for Plato, those guardians,
They
they were key to that whole vision.
were the protectors.
Keeping the peace, making sure things ran smoothly.
It's a powerful idea, even if it seems, I don't know, kind of impossible sometimes.
Well, that's what philosophy does, right?
It makes you think bigger.
It makes you imagine things differently, pushes you beyond what you think is possible.
And maybe, even if we never get to Plato's perfect state.
His ideas can still inspire us.
Yeah, to try for something better.
To want leaders who are more than just powerful.
Leaders who are wise and just. Okay, so if you had to sum up Plato's Guardians, like one main takeaway, what would it be?
True leadership. It's more than just strength. It's more than just smarts.
It's got to be deeper than that.
It's that understanding of justice, the love of wisdom, that commitment to the common good.
Qualities we should all be striving for.
In ourselves and in the people we choose to lead us.
Well said. Such a powerful message. And honestly, it's just as important today as it was back then.
Timeless wisdom, right?
It really is. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Plato's Republic.
It's been a pleasure. I always love these conversations.
Me too. And to everyone listening, keep those minds curious and keep exploring those big ideas.